You're right, I feel that way inside. It's something I can't fight. And don't say I ain't tried. Can't get it out of my mind. You're right, I feel that way today. You're okay to say what you say. Well, it's the truth anyway. Guess it's all part of this game. You say that you're not straight, but you like to kiss It's not it's me crazy. From the yard out to the street, like you would not believe.
Feast is an annual opportunity to be amongst the queer community.
Possibly one of the best festivals that you'll ever get to attend.
I flippantly describe Feast as Adelaide's Mardi Gras. I know it's not at all like that. It's kind of like a queer fringe.
A queer cultural festival for everyone.
For those who haven't heard of Feast before, it is the third largest queer culture festival in the country.
Feast is fabulous.
Do it. Your audiences are really responsive. They're here to have a good time. I had 2 sold-out shows, so I couldn't be happier. People everywhere, I was like, wow, I had no idea that it was this size.
When they asked me to become an ambassador, it was like, there was only one answer. Like, I was honoured enough that they wanted the show and the festival, and then when they actually asked me to be an ambassador, I was like, yeah, totally. The audiences have been good. In fact, very, very friendly. Yeah, it's really nice to have a small, intimate venue and have such a warm crowd. I've had so much fun the last 2 weeks. Actually, I had to go home for one day to do a uni exam, and everyone that I bumped into was like, oh, I've been loving seeing all your photos from Adelaide. It looks like you're having so much fun, which I am. Like, I've done something, at least one new thing every single day.
I think some of the events that I've been to have been great. It's really nice to get interstate acts and people from overseas. Some really good forums on really important issues. And I think the overall vibe has been really great.
I've got some international student friends from uni. They felt comfortable coming here. It's great to have a queer festival.
There's that diversity, and more people from the mainstream community are coming to see what we do, and it's brilliant. From a really sort of practical point of view, there are a lot of queer people. So Channel 9 or anybody who is a sponsor, you know, by the association, it's been like, people have done surveys that the queer community is very loyal to sponsors. So, you know, we change our bank accounts. If someone supports us, so we see who supports us, and that means something to us.
The gay community in Adelaide is very loyal. They're very loyal to brands. They're very loyal to each other. And, you know, I think that's kind of what you're looking for from a sponsorship point of view.
For businesses thinking about sponsoring Feast, obviously, I can't think of any reason why they wouldn't. I mean, the LGBT community is so loyal, and I know that Channel 9 was sponsoring my show because, you know, they got the branding right there on the page and, you know, on the posters and stuff. So, you know, I think it's really good exposure, and it certainly leaves a very good taste in the community's mouth.
We would definitely sort of really encourage other people to get involved as sponsors, because we believe that this is something that needs to happen in our community. It's a festival that is at a fantastic time of year. You know, we're not in Mad March crazy season, we're in a lovely early November, which is great. And we really think there needs to be more support of this wonderful grassroots festival. The patrons that come along to this festival have been incredibly responsive, they're really happy to be involved, and they really support their festival, which is great. The team has been fantastic, and you know, they are doing 5 jobs for one person, 5 different roles for one person. So I think, again, that community aspect to it is really important, and what everyone seems to really give a lot. We feel there's a lot of heart in this festival, which is lovely.
I think Feast is a wonderful thing for our community. I think it's kind of broadened its audience in the last few years, and I think moving forward, it's only going to do that more, and that's what we want. Programming wise, there's been a great selection for the audiences this year, and there's been, you know, some old favourites that they love, like Carlotta and Bob Down, and it's made them take a risk on some new shows.
There is a really lovely community feel here, and this doesn't really, I mean, I've lived in Sydney a lot, and yeah, Sydney's big, but there's a sense of community here that I'd never felt like I was part of in Sydney.
There's a huge range of people who have, you know, been out for a couple of years, or those who are just sort of coming into themselves. And so some of them have never heard of Feast before, and they think it's the greatest thing ever, that there's this whole community for the LGBTQI, all that sort of stuff, and I think it's great. And then there's those who have been out for a couple of years and still think that Feast is great because they get to, you know, catch up with their friends and see all these different acts and stuff that are geared towards them in particular.
What I like about Feast is that it's all so centralised, like it's all in the one spot. This Indulge Lounge is amazing. It's like amazing to come out here after a show, and it's a beautiful little hub. It's buzzing here, whereas, you know, in some other cities, everything's really spread out, so it's hard to have that real festival vibe.
It makes people feel alive and part of a community and enjoying culture, and that is, you know, a really important part of life.
It's a feast for all the senses. We're dishing up a program that will cater for everyone. Cabaret, theatre, film, literature, live music, sport, visual arts, community. Follow the rainbow to Feast. It will be pure gold.